Yo, 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 what's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Real Talk with Rich. It's your boy, Rich. We in the building want to salute all the black comic lords and the black superheroes forever fam. Want to shout out to all those of you that are in the chat. Thank you guys for joining us on this evening. And so salute to everyone that will watch this live and those who will watch the replay. It's your boy Rich again. I'm glad to be here. Hope everything is good on your side of the world. And that's like I always like to say, I am better than I deserve. And tonight we have a show, and we're going to talk a little bit about everything. And, so I'm happy just to be here on tonight. What's going on, Dion? Shout out to Gordon. Shout out to Azure Beast 10. We see you, glad you guys could join us on tonight. And so we're going to, like I said, get into a little bit of everything. Gonna talk some news, gonna talk something deep pretty much. And we're gonna have a good time and we're gonna get on out of here. So without delaying the time, and I wanna just as I preparing for the show, I was thinking I went to my storage unit on yesterday and I decided to pull some books to read and pull some books to show and pull some books to just kind of geek out on and that kind of thing. So one of the stuff, a lot of the stuff that I pull, some of it I've read, some of it not. I haven't. So I like to reread stuff from time to time if I think it's dope. And so in the introduction here today, I'm just going to just get into some of that. We'll get into our first topic of the show, low hanging fruit, in a minute. But got a nice long box full of stuff, and I wanted to just kind of show you guys some stuff that I enjoy in the hobby, some things that are in my collection. Some of might think this is a flex section, but it's not, because I'm not just showing you quote unquote black keys. I'm just showing you books that I, really enjoy, like, and just fascinated by more than anything. So the first thing I want to show you, and I posted this in the group a long time ago. This is a ash can called Black Gun. Excuse the glare from the light, but it is a ash can called Black Gun. It's kind of dark, as you can see, but it is literally a ghost, if I can say it like that. It has no information as to who did it. It's based on Bass Reeves, as you can see. I found this in the shop that I frequent from time to time, and they didn't even have a value on it because it doesn't have a price on it. But this is, like I say, this is like a one for. It's like somebody created this book, stapled it, and it's a cool little book. I enjoy it. It is one of my prized possessions in my collection. And like I said, it's literally something that somebody, I'm sorry about the glare. Let me see if I can lift this up. It's literally something that somebody just created and just put it out there. And again, it's called Black Gun, because this is a story based on Bass Reeves. Yes, yeah. Shout out to H&H. Yeah, they did. And so, it's just one of the things I have in my collection. This book here is a comic book, black comic book collectors. I would say mandatory book. This is Superboy and the Legion of Superheroes 216. That's the first appearance of Tyrock, black character there. And yeah, so we have that. Let's see. We talk about characters that, independent characters, independent books or whatever, what I'm saying? It's like, all we talk is Marvel and DC. And we do most of the time. We're not going to run from that, but we do have, from time to time, we will talk about other things. This one book here, this is Webway Comics, Is Nana the Were Spider, Greg Anderson Elise. We have that. I have this in my collection as well. Got a couple of books. Is Nana. I like that character. I have that. This book here, True Comics, number 79. It's called True Comics. And there's a story about Ralph Bunch in this book. And I'm going to just give you the year on this book. This is a pretty old book. And it is September 23rd, 1948. True Comics. Ralph Bunch is a Black history hero, and I got it strictly for that reason. So yeah, there's some golden age comics in the collection. Not a whole lot, but I have a few. I'm trying to be like Rico when I grow up. So I got that. Here's something from the 90s. Shout out to Naya Zuwana, son of Zulu. You guys can find this book in dollar bins. You might still be able to find it. I'm not sure. We've been talking about this book before, and it's been in our space. So, you should be able to find this. The 1990s, man, was a pretty magical time. People don't realize how many books came out around that period. Milestone kind of opened the floodgates a little bit. Wouldn't be a collection without a little hip hop in it. This is Public Enemy, number 0. This is a limited edition preview. Public Enemy did have a comic book at one time. I have Apocalypse 91 book that Chuck D did, graphic novel. It's around here somewhere. I have that as well. Let's see. Let me show some. Here's another Is Nana, the World Spider. This book here too. So, got books in our collections, man. It's a lot of stuff. We don't cover a lot of stuff, but we do cover a lot. If you guys ever want to talk about a book or something, let us know. We'll see if we can make that magic happen. Lord knows we want to do those things. I'll bring up that one a little bit later. So I got some other stuff here. Black Cotton is a company or is a comic book that some of us in our space know and love. This book here is a issue 5. I love this cover. This cover is ill. This cover is ill. I love this cover. When this came out, I was like, oh yeah, that's nice. But how many know that the Black Comic Lords did a variant for Black Cotton? Some of you guys may or may not know, but yes, we did a variant, worked an agreement with Scout Comics to do a variant, and there is our logo on the back right here. Those who may or may not know, this is the issue 6 Black Comic Lords variant. Only 250 of these were ever printed, and so at some point, if something happens with Black Cotton, this is going to be worth a little bit of money, and I'm not mad at that. This is the first appearance of Herschel, first appearance of Richard, your boy, first appearance of Paul, first appearance of Mark. So yeah, that's what's up. Black Cotton, baby. Speaking of the post in the area or in the Black Comic Lord space, our brother Derek, the wizard, he put up a post talking about Killadelphia going forward, and I think that's the right time to talk about Spec around when it comes to Killadelphia. It's up to like 30 issues now. Issue 30 will be coming out pretty soon. But you know, it's getting ready to start pre-production. They've already chosen the actors for certain key roles. And so yeah, we can start talking Spec a little bit about Killadelphia. And so he brought up a post and he said, well, what do you think are the best Spec books for Killadelphia? And it's a couple of them. That's that cover there is the first appearance or the first book of Killadelphia. That's issue 1. That's the first print. I think that's a classic cover of a black man holding a pistol and a shovel. So you know he's getting ready to kill somebody and bury somebody. So that's what's up. So we do know that that's a dope book, first book to have. You should have that in your collection. I think you can find a few still rummaging around. There's also the Killadelphia issue 1 second print. I have one of those in my personal collection as well. And, you know, I think that that's a dope book to have. Now, the issue 1 second print is rare. You ain't gonna find too many of those. You ain't gonna just go to no long box and find a second print like that. Print run, of course, of that was low and probably by design, but you should try to hunt one down if you can. Then there is a 1 in 25, I want to say, and a 1 in 500, I'm not sure. Yeah, I think that's what it is. So yeah, those covers there, you know, dope covers. I don't have those. I wish I had those. But yeah, H&H Comics says maybe 1 in 1,000 of the second print were made. Yeah, that's what's up. The one on the left had only 500 made. So yeah, that's what's up. That's an ill cover, man. Shout out to them that did that. Who's the artist on that, Derek? Seco says never saw those.
Matina is the artist for the ones on the left, and then the second print I think is Jason Sean Alexander.
Okay, that's what's up. Yeah, man, those are ill covers. I mean, Killadelphia's books are all of those covers are sick, and you know, but some of them are iller than others. You know, but that's probably going to be those books there probably be I don't know how many on the CGC census, but I imagine there's only probably a few.
Guess which one of these 3 has the lowest number on the census?
If I had to guess, probably the variant. I mean, the Virgin cover. What do you think?
I think that's the second least.
Okay.
The one with the absolute least is the second print.
Really?
Yep.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Don't y'all bum rush CGC.
Yeah. So I'm thinking about in the next week or so maybe doing a pop-up Spec show in Killadelphia. So see if I get that pulled together.
That's what's up. Yeah, that's what's up. Well, if you need me, let me know. I'll try to help if I can.
All right.
Yeah, that's pretty dope, man. Shout out to Derek for helping us look at this and check this out, because I do think that you know, we as collectors, we should benefit from that. He says, I'm praying that it's a hit. The TV show is, if they execute it right, it should be. The story is dope. The characters are dope, and if they get good actors, yeah, it's a wrap. So shout out to Rodney Barnes doing his thing with Killadelphia. He's got so much other stuff going on. It's just ridiculous, but yeah, shout out to him. So I'm gonna show y'all guys this cover. This is my favorite Killadelphia cover. This is this issue number 8 variant cover. It's a nice purple. I mean, I just dig that. I mean, that's a sister on there. It's got through having a drink, a blood or whatever. But yeah, I like that. I really love that cover. The eyes, you know, yeah. I think Bill Sienkiewicz did this cover, if I'm not mistaken. So we got that. And let me see, I'm gonna show a few other books. I'll show that one last because that's going to lead us into our commercial break. Now, somebody put a post up about Black Sun, The Longest Night. Black Sun is a independent black company. We always, we love black companies, of course, and everybody thinks of Black Sands, but nobody talks about hardly about Black Sun. Black Sun been in the trenches, and they be at cons and stuff, and people show up and they buy their books. They got like 4 or 5 of these. Now, there's a nice dope cover on, but the interior art is black and white, but it's a nice sci-fi comic book. You know what I'm saying? If you love sci-fi, you might dig Black Sun. We talk about Afrofuturism. Shout out to our big brother John Jennings. But yeah, this kind of falls in that vein. So that's what's up. Got that. And let's see, what else can I show? So here's a couple of not controversial, but one particular controversial cover. Classics Illustrated. There's not a lot of classic black characters on Classic Illustrated covers. I have 2. This one here, Uncle Tom's Cabin. I know a lot of people don't really mess with Uncle Tom's Cabin, but they don't, and that's part of the problem is they don't know who the real Uncle Tom is. When culture takes words and particularly thoughts and they put them into the mainstream or into the zeitgeist, or if the public square, they take on a life of its own, and stuff becomes confusing, or words that used to mean one thing now mean another. People parade around with the word. You can see teenagers and even some older folk put a T-shirt on and they'll have Savage across the cover of their shirt. And Savage today does not mean what it meant years ago. That was a very derogatory term. Whether you're talking about Africans or you're talking about Native Americans, that's how the white people referred us. But now you got Bamas and Boots running around here with T-shirts with Savage on the cover. Does not mean because if you was to ask the average Joe today, what does that word mean to them? They're not going to give you that history. They're going to give you something else. But that's what happens. And Uncle Tom's Cabin by Harriet Beecher Stowe is that. People talk about being an Uncle Tom and things of that nature. They don't understand that Uncle Tom was really a dope character, a dope dude. So the real Uncle Tom was based on a hero. Unfortunately, the minstrel shows soiled his memory in this country. Absolutely. Shout out to H&H bringing that up. So yeah. So I know guys that will not collect certain stuff for that reason. We buy into these things. Shout out to Jeff Carroll. Jeff Carroll is a guy that he's kind of in and out in our space. But he has a comic book called The Twa Man. And basically there are pygmies, African pygmies that people call Twa, that some people believe that St. Patrick killed a whole bunch of us. That's been proven to not be true. But that does not take away from the Twa, of the history of the Twa people. So yeah. This other book I have, Classics Illustrated, the Negro Americans, with Frederick Douglass on the cover, Booker T. Washington. Yeah. So this is a good book to have as well. You may or may not find this in dollar bins. I got a couple copies. So Brother Rich, you should pick up O Kingdom Come, Epic African Story from the Motherland. The creators is from here in Orlando. Oh, that's what's up. That's what's up. We have to hit me in the DM about that, Dion, so I can try to pick that up and find it. So yeah, I'll definitely check that out for sure. Now we all familiar with the Megaton books, at least issue 1. I got my issue 1 around here somewhere. I don't know where I think I misplaced it. But I do have the others. I have other Megaton books. This is Megaton number 4. Black character, has 2 hearts. This is Megaton number 5. And this is Megaton number 8. So we have some Megaton books. But I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think it's Eric Larson. I think Megaton was like his first published work that he did. So yeah, that's what's up. And you know, we're gonna get ready to take a commercial break. But before we go to a commercial break, I have the Kingdom Come book. We'll be interviewing the author soon. Okay, that's what's up. We got the CEO, the HNIC, Paul, making these connections. So he's the busiest man. He's trying to go after the title of hardest working man in show business. But even though James Brown has been gone for a little while, he still wants that. He still wants that title. So, yeah. So the interview coming to you real soon. Speaking of interviews, we're going to be interviewing next Sunday the creator of Concrete Comics, Lonzo Starr. He will be in the Black Comic Lord building with us, and we'll be interviewing him. So next week, you will not see a Real Talk with Rich show. You'll be seeing an interview with him. Concrete Comics has been around for a minute. They've been doing amazing art. I want to just show this one book I had in my collection. This is Absolver, issue number 2. I have Concrete. I have Acolyte number 1 and 2, but this is issue 2 of Absolver. So we're going to be talking about this book. We're going to be talking about the first books, and probably talking about some other stuff as well in the future of Concrete Comics. They are on the rise, and so shout out to them doing their thing, man, and doing it well. You can hate all you want, but their art is stellar, and we have to salute them cats for doing their thing. So shout out to them. So anyway, we're going to take a quick commercial break. We're going to come back to Low-Hanging Fruit. That's a segment where we talk about the news and stuff that's just in the public square. So we're going to go to a commercial break. We'll be right back.
Comics are different. Those things cannot be returned if they do not sell. Okay, so that means that if they buy 10 copies of Monica Rambeau Photon and nobody buys it, they eat that money. And your local comic shop is, the margins are very thin, right? Times are hard for everybody. And so what that means is that it gives comic shop owners incentive to be very risk averse, right? And so you could order a bunch of Batman and you know that every month people are going to come in and buy Batman. It's often characters of color, new characters, lesser known characters where they're like, I don't know, this could be good, but if I put this on my shelves and people don't buy it, I lose money. And I'm sympathetic to that. That's a real assessment that they have to make. So the way that we avoid that is you go in and you pre-order. So Paul goes in 3 months before the comic set comes out and says, hello, I would like to pre-order Monica Rambeau Photon number 1. I'm not going to wait till it comes out. I'm telling you now that I want it. And at that point, they're like, okay, let me go ahead and order this. And in the comics world, that is the sale that counts. By the time you come into a store and purchase a comic book, that sale does not count. I know it is ridiculous. It is very silly. That is the way it is. The sale that counts is when the store orders it from the distributor. That is what they are counting. And so what that means is that when you go in and you pre-order things, it actually gives that store confidence. Like, okay, Paul said Paul's going to be back and spend his $5 on this book. So we're good. If we order this one, we know it's going to sell and we can pay our rent. We're not going to be eating this cost this month. The best thing to do is your subscription or your pull list where you go in and you say, I want you to put these in every month for me, right? And then they will set that aside in a box.
Message.
Yes, we're back. So pre-order. C. Cole says Ron Waverly has a new book now. Let me find Portrait of Eugene Ballard that came out in January. Okay, that's what's up. Shout out to him. Let us know. Y'all please put us up on game. If y'all know some dope books that's out, let us know so we can, take a look at it and, figure out this thing. And so again, like the commercial says, shout out to Dr. Eve Ewing, the future writer of Black Panther, letting us know about the importance of pre-orders and getting your orders in before the FOC or the final cutoff day. Please, please, please pre-order. We're going to talk about one particular book that, if you had not pre-ordered, good luck finding it because it may be a hard task. So with that, we're going to go ahead and jump into low-hanging fruit. That's a segment, again, as I said earlier, about, the news. And so the first piece of news we have, there is a new John Stewart Green Lantern book heading your way. But what time? We have no idea. Now says, Richard, what are you talking about? You said there's going to be a Green Lantern book coming out. Yes, John Stewart's upcoming Dawn of DC series will show a different side to the fan favorite Green Lantern character. All right. The writer, Philip Kennedy Johnson, well, that's a name, sat down with CBR and a handful of other creators, Tom King, Tom Taylor, Joshua Williamson, Teeny Howard, Chip Zdarsky, to discuss DC's Dawn of DC, a year-long storytelling initiative ushering the publisher's biggest heroes into a brand new era. During this roundtable, Johnson spoke about how the upcoming Green Lantern series will present John Stewart in a different light than a number of his past series and interpretations. John said, John Stewart is too often painted as a one note, in my opinion. Sometimes he comes off as he spits out military jargon. I get it. You're writing a team book. You've got to give everyone little lines like, how do I make this feel like this person? Superman is hopeful, Diana's peaceful, Batman scowls, Flash is fast and quippy. And John Stewart used to be a Marine. I want to see more. Clearly, this guy has not read the Jeffrey Thorne, okay? But let's go. I see John Stewart as being an architect where he was in the beginning and the person who gives their life for the greater good, thing larger than himself. His being a Marine is part of that, but he's also the consummate Lantern, the one who always should have been a Lantern, not with just his military background, but with his brilliant architect's mind that has been fettered by the concept of three-dimensional space. He's no longer fettered. He's the perfect Lantern. So I'm telling the story of John Stewart that is meant to feel like a mythology. I'm telling the story of a Greek god who became a man. Tell me that you're white without telling me that you're white. The only Greek freak that I'm interested in is Giannis, and he plays for the Milwaukee Bucks, okay? So he's not a Greek god, okay? He's a black man. So if you're going to use that, you might want to call him, if you got to use, Shango maybe, learn some African mythology, bro. He's a Greek god. He's a black guy, okay? He's that first and foremost. Before he's a military guy, but I guess he couldn't get away from the buzz. Who knows? But anyway, there's a John Stewart book coming up pretty soon. However, and there's always a however, the Green Lantern John Stewart book is going to happen later on. What's going to happen is that there's going to be a Hal Jordan Green Lantern book that comes out. And John Stewart's book, or John Stewart, will be featured in the second story in the book. So, how like DC likes to put second stories in their books, in their ongoing titles. That's what's going to happen with John Stewart initially. He will get his title at some point in 2023, but the Green Lantern Hal Jordan book is coming out first. Okay, so yeah. So if you want some more John Stewart, pick up the Hal Jordan Green Lantern book that's coming out. John Stewart will have a secondary story in it, and later on, John Stewart will get his own title. The guy that's writing the book is the same guy that's going to be doing those shorts in the Hal Jordan book. So that's just for your information. So I don't know if you guys are excited for more, John Stewart. Looks like we're going to get something without any seasoning. I'll say it like that. But do what you will with that, okay? So next up, we're going to move to Bleeding Cool. DC Comics puts the Wayne family, Vixen, New York City, and Zatanna webtoons into print. Now, the only reason why I'm covering this is because Vixen is going to get I guess, a trade paperback. You know, Vixen was on Webtoons for a while. What they were doing, in essence, without going into the complete article, they decided that they wanted to put some DC characters on Webtoons. They put, Batman, the Wayne family, Zatanna, and Vixen New York City on Webtoons. So what they've done is they're going to gather all that was seen on Webtoons and put it into a, trade paperback. So that's going to be coming to you pretty soon. Apparently, they were very popular, and they decided that, you know what, we need to get this bread. And so you can pick up Vixen. There was only 9 episodes, so the book is not going to be that thick, but they are wanting $14.99 for it. I see you working, DC. I see you working. Whereas Batman, I think, had like 25 episodes, but it's going to be, I think, $14.99 as well. The math just ain't math in here. But hey, do what you do, DC. Do what you do. Get your money. So anyway, for those Vixen, for those of you that are Vixen fans, stay tuned for this. This will be coming out shortly. So this will be in shops. Matter of fact, ooh, let me see. Let me look. Did I write that down? I'm not sure. Hold on. Give me a second. I got my notes here. No, I did not write it down. But suffice to say that, go to your shop, request it. It'll be available real soon. So that's what's up. Next article is another Bleeding Cool article. Now, everybody loves a good villain, right? And nobody gets more gangster than Scar from The Lion King. Now, Paul says, I wish Marvel Comics would do the same with Stephanie Williams' Living Heroes webtoon and put that in print as well. Well, maybe, Paul, they will, because this is what they do. They take their cues from one another. Marvel does a great idea. DC tries to mimic it. DC comes up with a great idea. Marvel tries to mimic it. So maybe they'll make that point. You know what I'm saying? That would be kind of cool. I know we talked about that a lot. So that's cool. Seco says August of September for Vixen. Okay, that's what's up. Appreciate you, bro. So yeah, that's coming out. Now, but this here. Now, here's the thing about this. Bleeding Cool reports that Dynamite is not going to overprint Disney Scar and will collect only in 2025. What does that mean? That means if you want these singles, these floppies, you better have it already ordered, especially issue 1. Because here's the deal. Dynamite told retailers that they will not be overprinting the first 4 issues at least. The orders that they receive now, locked for the first issue, will be all that they print. Shops will only get what they ordered by the FOC date. Dynamite will have a few additional copies to cover any damages, but then that is it. That is it, y'all. And I'm going to tell you, I'm going to be honest with you. This might be the standard going forward for certain companies, especially smaller companies like Dynamite, because they got to eat that cost. That's why we emphasize the importance of FOCs and having a pull list and pre-ordering with your comic shop, because you got a situation here where they're not doing any. Look, them books gonna be high on eBay. I'm just letting you know. The first book, okay, is coming out in April. That'll be April the 5th. After the first book comes out. And here's the thing: if you have not ordered it, if it has not been on your pull list already, good luck. I hope your comic shop ordered enough copies, because there will not be any others. And here's the deal: they're not going to collect this, meaning that it ain't going to be in the trade until 2025. So do with that what y'all will. This is a cautionary tale, and while we tell people to please pre-order your books. to say this Scar book has more variants than Kane. Yeah. And they're going to probably cost a little bit of bread too. And so you might ask yourself, why are we talking about Scar? Okay. Well, Chuck Brown, black man, shout out to him. Chuck Brown is one of our favorite guys. He's writing this book. So yeah, we're looking at this. This is dope. It says, Disney's greatest villain set in the world within The Lion King, Eisner Ring Award winning Chuck Brown and stunning artist Trevin Farley tell the tale of fire and fury centered on an enraged Scar, and they're unable to accept that he will never be king so as long as Mufasa and his new son inhabit Pride Rock. A plan is starting to formulate within Scar's corrupt mind, which will bring him face to face with the mysterious shaman Rafiki. So, yeah, all of us love a little Lion King in our lives. So, y'all go pick that up. And you might not want to wait till the weekend to go get that. Wednesday, when that book comes out, that April the 5th, you need to be at the shop when it opens up, or let your comic shop guy know, look, this Scar book, I need one. Now, you may have certain variants that you're looking for and that kind of thing. There are going to be some that are going to be cost a little bit more than others. We get that or whatever, spend your money, bro, but be responsible. Yeah. He says, and what about an actual black Disney villain, Dr. Facilier? Well, Pericles, I'll say this. It's not we can desire it, we can ask for it, we can, but it's Disney again. And when it comes to Disney content, I'm not vested like that. Me personally, some of you guys may be. I never, even when it comes down to black characters in Disney, I've never messed with Disney like that. To me messing with Disney is just because they own Marvel. Me messing with Disney is only because they own Star Wars. Other than that, I would have nothing to do with Disney, because Disney is the, you know what? I can't say that. Suffice to say that I'm not just invested with Disney characters like that. He said, wait a second, Scar ain't black? I don't know. I know James Earl Jones was Mufasa, so we can make that argument. We're not going to do that here, but you can make that argument. Maybe he is. I don't know. I just know James Earl Jones was Mufasa. So do with that which I will. I don't know if the hyenas will be in the comic book. They certainly were black. Shout out to Whoopi Goldberg. Anyway, that's what's that. So guys, please check with your LCS about this book, because it's not going to be around. Our next article. Let's see where we at. Number 4, Static Shock. Okay. Now, when I first saw this come across my timeline, I thought about a Jamaican that lives in Orlando. A Jamaican guy that lives in Orlando that went to the University of Miami. He has several hats, one of those being, representative of the cult of Bassett. But he's also a hardcore Milestone fan. And so when I saw this news, I said to myself, my friend is somewhere in the lovely state of Florida, in a building somewhere in Orlando, whether he was at home or whether he was at the office. Probably feeling a little frisky. Probably feeling a little frisky, because this is something that he has been hoping for quite a while. Fan favorite character from Anansi from Static Shock is going to finally be making his comic book debut this summer. Originally voiced by Carl Lumbly, the DCAU's voice of Martian Manhunter, Anansi first appeared in seasons 3 and 4 episodes Static in Africa and Outer Africa. Despite only appearing in 2 episodes, the character has received a cult following for his enigmatic personality and fascinating lore. Now the character is bringing that celebrated lore and charisma to the comics. So DC's announced that in June, Anansi and Static will have their first comic book team up and static team up, Anansi #1, written by Evan Narcisse of DC Power, Batman Gotham Knights, Gilded City, and Charles Stewart III, who makes his DC debut from the Milestone Initiative Talent Development Program. The one-shot announcement arrives with the preview of the main cover by Nicholas Draper Ivy, Static Shadows of Dakota co-writer, and variant covers from Natasha Bustos of DC Power, and Edwin Gallman of Cyborg. In addition, it has also been announced that Static Shadows of Dakota initial 6-issue run has now been extended to 7, not including this one shot. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I think this is something that we should celebrate for a number of reasons. One, that people find value in these characters from the comic books, from the cartoons, that they can transfer. People forget that Harley Quinn started in cartoons. Harley Quinn is not an original character in comic books. Harley Quinn started in cartoons. Why not a black character from the cartoon? Static Shock. You know what I'm saying? So this is dope. And I hope that they, keep it up or whatever. But also, we also need to celebrate the fact that, Static, people have belief in enough. DC or Milestone believes in enough, so much so to extend the series another issue. So instead of being 6 issues, this current run of Static is going to be 7. So I think that's to be applauded. That tells me that, you know what, that this book is actually making money. And if they need to tell a story, they need another issue to kind of stretch it out, and so be it. So shout out to those guys who are doing a dope bang-up job on that book. And so let's see. Static needs to expand past the comic book medium and get back into the mainstream. That would be great, Dion. But again, I don't know what their plan is. You know what I'm saying? Me personally, I never liked Static Shock as a name. His name is Static. You know what I'm saying? But for whatever reason, they stuck Shock on the end of it. So I'm not tripping. But people did love it. It was a dope cartoon. We'll see where it goes. I mean, of course, if they put the Milestone characters in animated, that'd be great. I'm looking forward. I'm all here for that. But we'll see. H&H Comics asked the questions, have anyone heard of a Milestone animated series in the works? Don't know. I just do not know. And for me, I won't believe it until I see it. I just won't believe it till I see it. So, yeah. Behind the scenes says, as a kid in the 90s, my LCS didn't carry any Milestone books. I never knew about Milestone until I went to college. The cartoon was vital for people exposure to the character. And that's right. That's dope. It's unfortunate that some people are in pockets where that book was not carried. I was fortunate to be able to buy my Static books. Actually, I bought my books, if I remember, not in comic book shops. I used to buy my books like at Barnes and Noble at the time that I was collecting Milestone. I was able to get those books there. So, funny thing is they don't even carry floppies in. Yeah, he says, I want to profess the film fan. Says, I want to hear a remix of the animated thing of the first Static Shock live action trailer. Well, y'all do y'all thing with that. Just give me a dope comic book. That's all I care about. Cartoons, and that's all. Like, for me, that's cheese, that's icing on the cake, that's butter. Just give me the basics and I'm good, which is the comic. So this is good news. So shout out to them for that. And to close out our articles, we want to talk about real briefly about the passing of Lance Reddick, who died just recently, a couple of days ago. He was 60 years old. And we know him from The Wire and John Wick. I never saw him in Fringe or Bosch. But I was definitely a fan of his work in The Wire. I enjoyed him in John Wick. His role in John Wick was kind of small, but The Wire, Lieutenant Cedric Daniels, that dude, yes, I was here for that. Great, great guy. A lot of people spoke well about him. And what I wanted to say also about his passing, and I've been saying this kind of post or this thought about Black men deserve to grow old, because 60 is not old. 60 is young. With the technology and with the medical advancements that have been made, 60 is a young man. And so for you brothers is out here, particularly Black women too, but for you brothers particularly, we don't know this cause of death. Some say it may be natural causes. I don't know. I just know that 60 is young. Take care of yourselves, man. Take your behinds to the doctor. Don't wait till you get married, or don't wait till you get sick to try to recover. Be proactive. Go have a annual physical. You know, if it's time for you to get a colonoscopy, you know, they would tell you to go get a colonoscopy when you're 50. They're now pushing it back to now getting your colonoscopy in your 40s. And I'm gonna be honest with you, it's probably something that you need to start doing in your mid-30s. Because again, the foods that we eat are ultimately responsible for our sicknesses that we have, whether it be diabetes, whether it be cancer, whatever, you know what I'm saying? But again, guys, take care of yourselves, man. You only have one life, and you got so many people around you that love you and depend on you. You know, we have to do that, you know. One of my brothers today at church talked about when you go in certain place like Planet Fitness, I guess they have signs up that say this is a no judgment zone, meaning that, you know what, doesn't matter where you are or when you started, just as long as you've started to promote your health. You know, go to the doctor before you get sick. Go to your doctor before you feel pain. I'm gonna tell you something about pain. Pain is a gift. When pain takes place in your body, it's telling you something ain't right. We need to get it right. As men, a lot of times we try to shake stuff off and we just kind of keep it moving. Chris Rock talked about the joke about how his family, you know, basically just gave him Robitussin. But that's not a cure. A lot of us are not in the hood like that. A lot of us have insurance. Now, Seco says insurance won't pay for a colonoscopy until you hit 50, but they want you to start in your 40s. And that's something that we're going to have to, like, as you know, through policy, create those changes, Seco, because you're right. That is an issue. Colonoscopies are expensive. As someone that has had a few of them, they are expensive. I know that. And, you know, it's a catch-22. You know what I'm saying? But I'd rather you be in debt and have your life and be here for your family than for you to struggle, you know, because that's what happens a lot of times. People, one thing about colon cancer particularly, if you catch it early, you can live. You can beat it. But if you catch that thing late, it's hard to beat it. And things about cancers, if they metastasize to different parts of your body, and then it becomes a race. And so before it gets to that, you know what I'm saying, just doing the right things, you know what I'm saying, putting away, you know, I love steak, but I know I can't eat steak, you know, like it's a hamburger. I gotta get away from the red meat. I gotta eat more lean meats. I gotta eat more, you know, fish. It's health issues, health decisions that we have to make. So we won't, you know, be having these things, you know. black men do deserve to get old, but black men have to hold themselves and their brothers accountable to go to the doctor. So guys, please, please, please go to the doctor. Shout out to his family. I hope everything was, as best as can be. I don't want to wake up with them doing a, God forbid, autopsy. It is something else. But, the brother seemed to be in relatively good health. So, just take care of yourselves, guys. Please, please, please. We need to be around to talk about these books and to talk about these characters and talk about all the crazy stuff going on in the world. Tico says, sadly, my school district has the worst insurance, and we're told that by even doctors. Yeah. Now listen, insurance in this country, and I don't want to get off on a tangent, but I'll say this. Insurance in this country is not the best. It's just not. Medical care in this country is not the best. The cost of medicine in this country is the worst. You would think the most powerful nation in the world, the richest nation in the world, would have better, prices for medicine, but that's not the case. But I want to talk a little bit briefly about dental insurance. Dental insurance you'd be surprised how much your dental health affects your physical health. The things that's going on in your mouth can affect your heart health, particularly. So guys, again, if you can, do what you can. Please, please, please go to the doctor, go to the dentist, checkups, cleanings, fillings, and all that. That's all my public service announcement to go. We got to get back to these comics. We're going to transition to our next segment. I love this fandom, and we have to talk about these real things, man. This is Real Talk with Rich. That's what's up. So we covered everything when it comes to that. We're at this stage where we're going to get to our spotlight. And tonight's spotlight falls on Jack in the Box. You say, who? Jack in the Box is a superhero in Astro City that was created by Kurt Busiek, Brett Anderson, and Alex Ross. That's that beautiful drawn character right there. His first appearance is Image Comics Homage Studios Astro City #3 in 1995. This is a black character. And that's his first appearance there. Jack in the Box is a dope character. I know some people may see the clown imagery and be like, man, what is this? And I get it. But that's why at Black Comic Lords, we always tell you, or always ask the question, have you read the comics? I don't care what something looks like. I always are going to ask you the question, have you read the comics? We have a lot of people in our space that will put up books or panels, and they will make not an assumption, but a picture is worth 1,000 words. Now, the problem is, what 1,000 words that you're getting out of that? Is it coming from the mind of a wise man, or is it coming from the mind of an idiot? Either way, I know some of us probably passed on Jack in the Box because of the imagery of a clown. But Jack in the Box is a dope character. And there are 3 versions of this character. Shout out to UC because he said I got some of his books. Yeah, that's what's up. The first Jack in the Box is Jack Johnson. He was trying to be a difference in his community. And that character, Jack Johnson, passed the mantle to his son. He said, regardless of how good the book me, I don't do clowns, no. You know what? Maybe that's your fear of, maybe you have a fear of clowns, Paul. That is the weirdest phobia. Some people don't like clowns. It's okay. But look, I'll mess with a clown, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to the Universal Soul Circus and all the business that they do. So anyway, so that's probably not in Paul's collection. That's okay, though. We're going to keep talking about these books. But anyway, Jack Johnson had a son named Zachary Johnson that took over the mantle. And Zachary then passed the mantle to a guy named Roscoe James, who took over because Zachary wanted to start a family and he couldn't be, he wanted to just, focus on his family and, pass the mantle to him. So this is a legacy character that Black people, we always talk about, we want original characters. We want original characters. Why can't we get original characters? Here's the original character for you. You know what I'm saying? And again, I get it. Some people are not going to rock with it. But if you check it out, it's worth checking out. It's worth checking out. So just do that. I'm putting the spotlight on this character because this character has some merit and some value. And so, yeah, it's characters based on actually Spider-Man. The Kurt Busiek reportedly pitched a Spider-Man story that Marvel rejected. And they said, well, you know what? I'm going to take this story because I believe in this story and I'm going to just help create this character. And that's what they did. So, yeah, just for what it's worth, you know what I'm saying? Paul turned off Living Color every time Homie the Clown showed up. That's right. You think I'm here to degrade myself so you can get a laugh? Homie don't play that. That's what's up. So anyway, if you're looking for some dope character, something different, you know what I'm saying? Astro City is nothing to sneeze at. There's some good stories in Astro City. And, again, there are not a whole lot of books that Jack in the Box is in, but there are enough to collect a small lot. So just check it out. So let's get a modern reboot of him. He's a crump dancer on the West Coast who's a street performer protecting the Bay Area. I like that. I actually like that. Yeah, I ain't mad at that. I love our culture, man, because our culture is so amazing in that, what's going on in the Bay and what's going on in, whether you're talking about in Memphis juking or you're talking about crump dancing out on the West Coast. I mean, it's these different flavors that we are as Black people. I'm here for it. I ain't mad at it. So Seco says they were trying to do a movie and TV show of Astro City in 2013 and 2018. Yeah. I mean, again, certain stuff just doesn't translate. I mean, a lot of stories get pitched or get optioned, and nothing comes of it. So it is what it is. Behind the scenes says, "Good looking out. Never heard of this character before." Yeah, that's what's up. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm just trying to bring you guys something, put a spotlight on characters that perhaps you never heard of, or things that you never seen, or whatever. And matter of fact, we're gonna get ready to go to commercial. And this particular Rich recommends we kind of doing a debut here. But I'm recommending a little short 4-issue book that some of you guys have probably seen and never thought twice about looking at it. So check out this commercial. We're going to come back with our main topic, Down the Rabbit Hole. And that's what's up. Be right back.
What do you do when you're Black and blue, when your paycheck is not a sign of respect, and the most you can hope for is going home without scars from the superhero wars? Code of Honor, written by Chuck Dixon, spins a yarn about cops and heroes that you can never mistake one for the other. Officer Jeffrey Piper is a wide-eyed rookie who gets a lesson in ethics on his first few days on the job. He learns how the lines get blurred. He learns more blurry, all the more the worry. Still, he's the optimist. There's lots of overtime to go with thoughts that undermine his goal to be seen as a hero. But he gets a lesson in reality. That lesson being heroes fly while the masses die and cops serve only for crowd control. But leave it to Officer Piper to find sunshine in the cold, dark world. Trouble is, Officer Piper is so used to the darkness that the light he loves bothers him. She wants him to be better, which is a switch, seeing that he wanted to be a hero at first. But like I said, the lines get blurred at times. Code of Honor is a 4-issue story that you can find in your dollar bins. Pick this up and you won't be able to put it down. If you like this video, please like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, peace.
Yes, indeed. Code of Honor, full issue mini. Yeah, I enjoyed that thoroughly, man. And again, you'd be surprised what you find in your dollar bins. There's a reason why they call me the dollar bin bully, baby. I'll be making it happen. But anyway, shout out to Chuck Dixon and Down the Rabbit Hole. I mean, Code of Honor. It's a good story, y'all. Y'all go check that out. Anyway, Down the Rabbit Hole tonight is going to focus on. We talked just a hot second last week about. Appreciate you, bro. We talked a little bit, just briefly, about Angela Bassett and her not winning the Oscar. So here we have Angela Bassett has gone viral after refusing to hide her disappointment when she lost the Best Supporting Actress Oscar to Jamie Lee Curtis. In comment, what says Black women are regularly overworked, underpaid, devalued, disrespected, and ignored. Tonight, that pain was palpable. This is from BuzzFeed. Layla Muhammad is the writer of this. So we know that Angela reprised her role as Queen Ramonda, the grieving mother of T'Challa, in last year's hit Black Panther sequel. She took on the emotional role while grieving a real-life death about her co-star Chadwick Boseman, and she was simply incredible, which she was. In fact, she made history for her performance earlier this year, becoming the very first actor from the Marvel Cinematic Universe to not only receive a Golden Globe acting nomination for a Marvel film, but also the first to win altogether, taking home the accolade for Best Supporting Actress in a Motion Picture. What's more, that Angela was the first person to be nominated for a performance in a Marvel film at the Oscars. The Academy typically does not regard Marvel movies in the same veins as other films, and no other actor has been nominated for a role in a Marvel film, and the original Black Panther was the first and only Marvel movie to receive a nomination for Best Picture. With this in mind, Angela appeared to be devastated when Jamie Lee was announced as the winner of the Best Supporting Actress Oscar on Sunday night. As the crowd erupted in applause for Jamie Lee, Angela remained sitting and didn't immediately smile or clap. Okay. First things first, I have not seen the movie that Jamie Lee Curtis was in, so I cannot criticize the Academy from that vantage point. Secondly, I'm not here to defend anyone except the expression that Angela Bassett showed. But I got questions. Can Black people live? Can we be upset? Can we be petty from time to time? Can we express ourselves? I asked the question about the expression that silence is golden. Ain't that what they say? Sometimes it's just better to say nothing at all. Okay? So let me dig into this. A Black woman decides to keep her seat and say nothing. All of a sudden, folks got something to say. Why should she have cheered? Especially if she felt she should have won, which I think she did. And there's nothing wrong with that. But I can see the powdery donuts clouding your lips right now when I think about this, because this is what I hear. White woman wins, the Black woman should cheer. Where's the sisterhood? Where is it? That's a good question. But I'm going to leave that alone. I'm going to accept to say this, that the snub of the Academy is deeper. It's deeper than this. Number one, let's just keep it a stack. Number one, it's a Marvel movie. Marvel makes its money in Atlanta. That's number one. So they're not putting all that money in them studios out on the West Coast. That's number one. If you don't think money is attached to any of this, you're fooling yourself. Superhero movies, like she said in the article, are not viewed the same by people in the industry. You know how many directors are on record as saying that they hate superhero films? BCL, shout out to Tamiko. She says, Kelly Condon, the actress below Bassett's picture, had the same exact reaction. Nobody said anything about her. Well, that's kind of how it be. That's something about that melanin. That's all I can say about that. They don't like superhero movies. There's a reason why Black Panther is the only Marvel movie to be nominated. There have been how many MCU movies? 18, 19, 20 movies? Only one in the past how many years? There's a reason for that. We just happen to be the melanin. The melanin is popping, and you cannot act like that the movies that Black Panther and Black Panther Wakanda Forever were not stellar compared to all the other stuff that has come out from Marvel, or compared to the other stuff that has come out in movies in general, if we're keeping it real. Now, let's consider this. This is a movie done complete with the passing connected of the lead actor to the first film, Chadwick Boseman. So this was a passion project. This is a passion project. It's a passion project for everybody that was connected to this film. She had this relationship with Chadwick Boseman that went beyond the Black Panther family. When Chadwick Boseman was on his way up, when he was a student, he was tasked to usher her around campus. So they have a relationship that goes beyond that. And so all of the effort that they put into this film and that she expressed was done in light of that. But I guess we don't like passion no more, I guess. I don't know. They cannot ignore the fact that that was artistry, that her roles and the things that she did in that movie were not stellar, which is why she got nominated. Now, I can't speak for Angela, and I'm not trying to. I'm just saying that I understand why she was disappointed. We talk about Angela Bassett. We're talking about a woman that has played a lot of major roles. I mean, she was Tina Turner. She was Betty Shabazz. She was Valletta Wallace, the Notorious B.I.G.'s mom. Before Viola Davis took the role of Amanda Waller, do y'all remember that she was Amanda Waller in that godforsaken movie Green Lantern that came out in 2011? She been here. She been messing with the culture for a minute. Keeping it real, Stephanie Hauser, JLC's co-star and also supporting actress, actually was better in that movie than JLC. Now, if Angela Bassett couldn't win that Oscar, they should have went to Stephanie Hauser for EEOA. I don't even remember seeing JLC in that movie. I mean, you know, again, it was look, that movie cleaned up everything at once, all at once, whatever the title is. That movie cleaned up the whole night, so I'm not even tripping about it. At some point, I'll get around to watching it, and I'm not going to watch it in light of Jamie Lee Curtis's. But to your point, Tamiko, and to Derek's point, yeah. So we look at this and we say, okay, is she wrong for that? No, she wasn't wrong. She was just keeping it real. Angela Bassett is 64 years old, aging backwards. She's the woman version of Benjamin Button. This woman is a wife, She is a mother. She's had this stellar career. No scandal. She's been able to, navigate in her life flawlessly. So I feel like if you do the right thing should come. Should she won? In my opinion, she should have won. But again, I can't judge that because I have not seen the other movie. But I will say that, hey, nobody can mistake Angela Bassett for just a common actor. Nothing against Jamie Lee Curtis, but let's just be honest. She's known for Halloween, running from Michael Myers more than anything, okay? I do like her Activia commercials, though. Those are coming. Yeah, that's it. But, she is who she is. Now, I salute her in her winning accomplishments. I'm glad she won the Golden Globe. Our community has to rally around her and support her. You know what I'm saying? And again, we cannot look for the Oscars to validate us. You know what I'm saying? But the Oscars is kind of like the industry validating you. And everybody that works in an industry wants to be validated. We know that. That goes with the, that's par for the course. So we go down this rabbit hole. It is what it is. So let's kind of flip this on its head. On the other hand, we have Ruth Carter win her second Oscar for Best Costume Design, which is great. But here's the problem. See, they don't mind seeing the regality of Africa, but they don't want Africa's voice. I'm not going to belittle Ruth Carter's accomplishment. The outfits that were seen in Black Panther that she did for the Wakandans and for the Talakan were amazing. She deserved her award. It's not about that, but this is about the aesthetic and that they want you to look regal. They want you to perform well, but they don't want your voice. It's almost a backhand accomplishment. It's like, yeah, we like the uniforms, but was she as good as Jamie Lee Curtis? I don't think so. Nah. Ain't falling for that. Ain't falling for that. I'm going to be honest. When she walked into the UN room in this beautiful, visually stunning gown, the Academy saw that. They saw that. But they chose to just look at the costume and not the character in the costume. I mean, what do? We talk about that clothes don't make the man, but that man make the clothes. So we're giving out awards for the clothes that we wear, but we're not giving out awards for the people in the clothes. Y'all make that make sense to me. The Ruth Carter, she made history for being the only Black woman to have 2 Oscars. The Oscars been on what, 100 years? Pretty much. Pretty much, it's almost the equivalent when I look at it, as beautiful as that is, so I'm glad she got the award or whatever, but I would have been stoked for Angela Bassett, you know what I'm saying? Because she's done amazing things in her career. And all she has, for its accolades, all she needs is an Oscar for her trophy case, but maybe she'll get one for another movie or whatever. But either way, and the unfortunate thing is that in the movie Black Panther, she dies, so she can't come back to reprise the role unless they do a multiverse thing or whatever. And yeah, good luck with that, ladies and gentlemen. So she did what she should do. She's a queen. She's Queen Ramonda, and she does what queens do. Sometimes it's better to be silent. Sometimes silence speaks louder. Sometimes your silence, people don't know what to think of it. They don't know if you're thinking of a master plan. They don't know if you're thinking it because you're upset or whatever. We don't know. She hasn't really, quote unquote, addressed it, I don't think. But suffice to say that, I think she should have won. And, and if she couldn't hide her displeasure that she didn't win, so what? This is a 64-year-old Black woman that has worked and, and had a flawless career up to this point. She has a right to say what she wants and do what she wants in terms of her, because she's been nothing but an exemplary human being. That Black women and women in general and human beings in general can emulate or desire to be like. I mean, no, that resume, it's a nice resume, y'all. It's a nice resume. And like I said, no scandals whatsoever. And she's 64 years old and don't look a day over 50. What's not to see about that? I'm just saying. So as we talk about going down a rabbit hole about this, you know, I mean, how do we respond? I think that one of the things that we do is we celebrate our actresses and our actors. We love on them and we support them. We do what Michael B. Jordan did and what Jonathan Majors did, and they affirmed her in the midst of that disappointment. They, you know, to let her know that she's loved by her people. And if something comes up with the Soul Train Awards or NAACP Awards, she better win it. That's all I'm gonna say about that. She better win it. So, you know, again, as we think about what it takes, there are not that many, you know, Oscars, Black Oscars. They're passing out Black Oscars for Black women. They're just a handful. And again, she should be in that number. But it's a comic book. It's Marvel. It's the MCU. That's the only problem. I mean, you know, you think that when it comes to culture, there is a culture in Hollywood, and some people are not a part of the culture. Some people are, and some people aren't. I don't think her and her husband. I think they work there, but they don't live there. They're not attached like that. Their kids are, you know, amazing, and they have this stellar career for the both of them as actors and actresses. And you know, you can kind of tell they're like Denzel and his wife, Pauletta. You know, they flourish without being a part of the mess that's Hollywood. And so shout out to them and salute them. So yeah. But anyway, I just wanted to make that point as far as going down the rabbit hole is concerned, because I just think that we need to really just see the handwriting on the wall. You know what I'm saying? We don't need hashtag Oscar so white or nothing like that. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Some people even say it was the Asians' year. Fine. If they want to do that, and that's fine or whatever. But Jamie Lee Curtis is an Asian. So, you know, I don't know if that was them throwing the white woman a bone. I would hope to think that they're not that petty, but this is Hollywood. We are talking about it. So we've seen worse. With that said, though, we're going to go ahead and transition to the next part, which is the Rich Recommends portion. Now, first book that we have that I want to recommend is, I believe, Aquaman 57. Aquaman 57. This is, of course, a book that features Black Manta in the book. And one of the things I like about the book is there are characters in the book that Black Manta deals with that really speak to the struggle of Black life. But Black Manta is a villain. We can talk about what a villain is, and he is I would say he would be the film study of a villain. Because even though he says he loves his people, he will step on the backs of his people to accomplish what he wants. And this is kind of what this book is about. So yes, I think this is a cool book to get in your collection. I know that Aquaman 35 is just not something that is easy to obtain. It's my birthday grail. That book came out, Aquaman 35, the year and the month that I was born. And so that's one of the books that I'm seeking to get. But if you don't have that one and can't afford that one, you can get this one. This is a pretty good book too to get if you are a Black collector. Yeah, Aquaman 57. Pick it up. You can find this in dollar bins or for a few dollars or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But it's something that you should have in your collection if you like Black villains in general. But because in my opinion, Black Manta is one of the most slept on Black characters in superhero and villain fandom. But that's just me. Now, speaking of villains, villains in the culture, we have John Ridley. Now, we all know and love John Ridley for being the outlaw of Black Panther that just came out, right? And no, we didn't like that book, but I'm going to give you a John Ridley book to like. I don't want us to just throw John Ridley away as a writer. Didn't like his writing on Black Panther. But this book here, this trade here, John Ridley, The American Way, it collects issues 1 through 5, I want to say. 1 through 6, I'm sorry. 1 through 6. And this is a pretty dope story about superheroes back in the 60s during a revolutionary time. This is a pretty dope book. Those of you that got it know what I'm talking about. This is a pretty fire book. Now, I know John Ridley has said some things and has upset a few people, and nobody thinks that, people are irredeemable. But this book here is pretty amazing. I stand by this book. The merit of this book. You may not like the guy that wrote the book, but the writing in this book is dope. This is why I am recommending it. Now, Paul says the outlaw American John Ridley has outstanding warrants for his arrest by the Kingdom of Wakanda and will be brought to justice. Yeah, that part. But no, The American Way by John Ridley is pretty dope. Y'all should pick this up. Another book that John Ridley is currently writing right now is getting ready. I'm not sure. It's not over yet, but it might. I'm not sure. But he's writing also GCPD, The Blue Wall. That's a dope book too. That's a dope book. That's in your current wall list. You can go to your comic shop and find that. That's an amazing run. I don't know if they're going to do anything with that, but I would love to see them, do something with GCPD, The Blue Wall. That's an amazing book that John Ridley is writing. And Pericles says, "I'm with you on The American Way, Rich." Yeah, this is a good book. I mean, look, it's DC Vertigo, so it's pretty dope, man. Y'all go get this. If you don't have this in your collection, you can't get the floppies or whatever, get the trade. That's why I'm on Rich Recommends. I try to, give you a floppy to go cop, and try to get a trade. The floppies to find this, you can find issue 1. I think they printed issue 1 kind of heavy, but the rest of the issues in this run are gonna be hard for you to find. So pick up the trade. Go to a used bookstore. Go look at the graphic novels and see if you can pick this up. But yeah, he said, I think trade for DCPDs on FOCs this week or next week. Yeah. That's what's up. Yeah, The Blue Wall is an amazing book. Tamiko agrees. So art by George Genti, also a brother. Yeah. So again, this is a dope book. Yeah, don't sleep on this book. I'm telling you, a lot of people slept on this book. When I read it, I was like, dang, where have I been? Where have I been? This is nice. This is a nice book. I don't know what was going on with John Ridley when he wrote it, but he was in the right frame of mind to write this. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's what's up. So that's my Rich Recommends for the night. So before we wrap this up, let me know what's on your mind. I got a few minutes. What's on your mind? Is there anything you want to talk about, ask, or whatever? Otherwise, we're going to shut this thing down. Please like this, hit the likes button, please. Please share and support. Have you read Monarch #2? Yes, I have. I'm enjoying Monarch. Shout out to Rodney Barnes. He's doing his thing. Monarch is pretty dope. I'm anxious to see where he's going with it. Yeah. I just love good story, man. I just love a good story. And the fact that you read a comic book and then you can't wait to get the next issue, that's when you got a good book, man. I hate getting those books where I got to see where it goes. but I just love the anticipation. It says The Atonement Bell is another black-led horror book. Okay. Who's the publisher on that, C Code? Let us know. So, I mean, you know, let's see. Deep Cuts by Kyle Higgins comes out next month. A boy meets his idol set in 1917. Okay. That's what's up. That's what's up. That's what's up. I'll definitely be looking for that. You know what I'm saying? Y'all let, you know, I do the recommends, but y'all recommend books too. You know what I'm saying? I'm here for the good stuff. So yeah. That is what's up. Yeah, man. I enjoyed Monarch. I got a couple of other books that's around here I haven't read this week. It's a Red 5 Comics does Atonement Bell. Okay, and Deep Cuts is from Image. Okay. I got a guy at a shop here locally that you know, does a lot of independent stuff. But what he'll do is he'll order like 1 or 2 books. He won't do no real big orders on the independent books. And I get it. They got to make money. These things don't want to sit in your store forever if they're not. But you know, generally he will have a copy of something that you know, it'll be the most obscure small comic print. But he does have Red 5. So I do know that. So, Deep Cuts is from Image, so that should be easy to find. That's what's up. So let's see. I am currently waiting on the new. I talked about books that you gotta like. I gotta see where it goes. The Exile book is one of those books for me. Unfortunately, it was okay. The first one was okay, but you know, I gotta see, man. I gotta see. I did enjoy Bishop War College. I enjoyed the black. I enjoyed the Black X-Men. That was kind of funny. Shout out to Dion. Thanks for the video. That wasn't. Got a little chuckle out of that. I was getting, actually, when I saw it, I was kind of getting ready for this. So I really just couldn't watch. But yeah. When I get a chance to like sit and really listen to what you guys are talking about. Shout out to Behind the Scene. Y'all go check them brothers out. Check out that podcast, man, on YouTube. Yeah, that's what's up. So I haven't read my Photon book. I hadn't read Photon issue 3 yet. I got it back there. I'm gonna probably do that and then make my way to bed. Shout out to Sean Damian Hill. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We doing things around these parts, man. We really are. So as we get ready to wrap this up, man, don't forget next Sunday, Lonzo Starr will be in the building with us. It's Sunday. That's March the 26th at 9 p.m. Eastern. We'll be talking all things Concrete Comics. And you know how we do. We try to do deep dives. And so if you're not familiar with the titles that Concrete put out, they got titles like Absolver, they got titles like Concrete, they got titles like Athena, and they got Kandaki, just to name a few of the stuff that they do. But we'll be chopping it up with that brother next Sunday. So stay tuned for that. Also, please check out our videos on YouTube. You know, we do our reoccurring lives. That's Paul and Mark with Wakanda Whiskey and Bourbon, Blurtum, or Wakanda Whiskey and Blurtum. Yeah, you know, Paul, they drink some nice, expensive whiskey and talk comic books. What's not to love about that? And of course, your boy, Rich, I do these lives on Sunday nights. And we chop it up and we just talk about whatever. And of course, the Black Comic Lord Ladies Live. They're gearing up for a dope interview as well, coming real soon. So stay tuned for that. That's gonna be dope for real, man. And look at our recent specials. You know what I'm saying? We did an interview with Evan Narcisse and Chris Cross. We did an interview with Jeffrey Thorne, with Sean Damian Hill. Shout out to them. Stephanie Williams
did an interview for them. Okay, Saturday the 25th, Ladies Live with Stephanie Williams on Nubia. That's what's up. Y'all stay tuned for that. That's coming up on the 25th. So before next Sunday, next Saturday, we're going to have that going down. And then, of course, you know, we have different things that we talked about. We talked about milestone books. We talked to the creators of Shook. Stranger Comics, we chopped it up with Sebastian Jones doing his thing. And we do roundtables like Milestone or Black Comics You Wish You Had, talking about Black Grails and Black Keys and things of that nature. So we have a lot of content, guys, for you to go to peruse or whatever. And also, you know, support the channel by going to blackcomiclords.net, where you can find over 300 comic books, covers, and interesting deals. We break them up by Golden Age, you know, Copper Age, Silver Age, Modern Age books, controversial books. There are blogs there as well. You know, if you like me running my mouth, some of my writings are there as well. So, yeah. And be on the lookout for a Killadelphia Spec show from Derek. That's coming up real soon as well. So we got a lot going on, guys. Got a lot of stuff locked in the chamber. Black Comic Lords is on the way up, as my man Fat Joe would say. But yeah, man, we're gonna go ahead and get ready to get out of here, though. Before I leave you, though, I want to give you a word. Proverbs 10:14. It says, "The wise store up knowledge, but the mouth of the fool hastens destruction." So, be wise. Don't be a fool, and don't argue with a fool, because when you do, no one can tell the difference. From the stronghold that is Black Comic Lords and Black Superheroes Forever, it is your boy Rich. Until next time, we say peace. We love you. Take care. See you soon. We out.